watching News Channel 5 at 10, where the news comes first.
I think God was watching over me because it didn't hit me anywhere else where I could have died.
A 10-year-old shot at school relives his fears as his parents react with anger. Thank you for joining us.
Our top story tonight at 10, an 8-year-old is in the custody of juvenile authorities after he accidentally shoots a classmate.
Deanne Lane has just returned from Cardinal Glennon Children's Hospital, where she spoke with the shooting victim and his family. Deanne?
Karen and Rick, 10-year-old Benjamin Williams is recovering tonight, and while he just wants to go home, many parents want some answers. Benjamin Williams knows how lucky he is to be alive. The bullet went through his shoulder. In fact, at first, he tells me, he didn't even realize he had been shot.
I was in the bathroom, and he was showing his gun to the 4 other kids, and he asked me if I wanted to see it, and I said no. And he asked me if I wanted to see him fire it, and I said no. He said, I'm going to do it anyway. And he said it's not loaded, and he fired it, and it hit me.
It happened in the basement at Holy Cross Lutheran School, and while the shooting has been ruled accidental, sources tell me the 8-year-old remains in custody awaiting a detention hearing, and that he had taken the gun from his father's home last weekend.
Because he thought it would be being cool.
Benjamin Williams' parents are upset and want some answers on how this could happen at a private school, a place they thought their son was safe.
Yeah, I'm angry. I'm angry that my son is shot. I'm angry that this child had a gun at school all day. I'm not really angry at the child. I mean, I know the child.
What was he doing with a gun?
Exactly.
We tried to talk with school officials about the shooting and how a gun got on school property. They refused comment. We'll have more in this story for you tomorrow.
Thanks, Deanne.
Thank you. In other news, 3 people are charged and are in jail tonight, charged in connection with missing money from St. Louis's midnight basketball program. News Channel 5's Dan Gray joins us now from the newsroom with more on the story. Dan?
Rick, this is a potentially embarrassing development for Mayor Freeman Bosley in an election year. Tonight, he is putting his spin on the arrests.
More than $120,000 has been reported missing from the program, and now 3 former city employees and a 4th person are facing charges. Midnight basketball was started as a way to get teenagers off the streets and away from trouble, but now some program managers are in trouble. Those charged include former basketball manager Darrell Pee Wee Leonard. He faces 6 charges of felony stealing. Also arrested were Michael Robnett and Delphine Wilson. The 4th suspect is still being sought. Evelyn Rice Peebles supervised the program and blew the whistle on the thefts and was then fired by Mayor Freeman Bosley Jr. Now the mayor issues a statement blaming Peebles, saying that lack of management and oversight for the program is perhaps more criminal than the actions allegedly committed by the individuals named today. Peebles' lawyer says the suspects are all cronies of the mayor, and he has been covering up.
So she's following his directives. She winds up getting fired, and once again, she is the scapegoat for Freeman Bosley Jr.'s midnight basketball folly.
The mayor's statement also says midnight basketball is a great program. It goes on to say, unfortunately, some of the people who were responsible for managing the program proved not to be so great. Peebles' lawyer counters the arrests now clear his client's name.
My client is not one of those named. My client has never been a suspect in this, but the public has never known that. And so Evelyn Rice Peebles is very grateful that finally, and that's why we've been pushing the circuit attorney to get these charges issued, so that the public can understand that Evelyn Rice Peebles didn't steal any money.
Mayor Bosley denies covering up the thefts, but in this election year and with a mayoral forum set for tomorrow afternoon, the topic is sure to be raised by his opponents. It will certainly be talked about at a news conference tomorrow called by St. Louis Circuit Attorney D. Joyce Hayes. Rick?
Well, Dan, 3 former workers are charged. Who is the 4th person?
Now, police tell us that she is the girlfriend of one basketball manager. We're supposed to hear more about this at the news conference tomorrow.
Thank you, Dan.
Shrewsbury police warn that drug traffic along Interstate 44 may be escalating. In just 20 months along a 1-mile stretch of the interstate, authorities have seized 850 pounds of marijuana, all of it from south of the U.S. border. Local police pledged to work with Mexican authorities to halt the drugs. More than 100 officers from several local police departments have now completed special training to intercept drug traffic. The Reverend Jesse Jackson is free after spending last night behind bars in Chicago. He was arrested for protesting at a construction site because the contractor ended a deal with a black-owned trucking company. The contractor insists his decision was not racially motivated. Jackson has asked for a jury trial, and a date is set for April 1st. He's also on hunger strike to protest the matter.
The jury says he owes $33.5 million, but O.J. Simpson says his civil case is far from over. In a brief telephone conversation with the Associated Press today, Simpson wouldn't discuss his next move, saying, quote, "I don't want to join in this circus atmosphere that's out there at this time." Last week, the jury found him liable for the deaths of his ex-wife and Ron Goldman and ordered him to pay $8.5 million. Tuesday, it tacked on another $25 million in punitive damages. Simpson's lawyers are expected to appeal.
President Clinton made an historic trip to Capitol Hill today to discuss the budget and 4 other critical issues with congressional leaders. In a show of bipartisan spirit, the two sides talked about getting people off welfare, combating juvenile crime, improving schools, and bailing out the city of Washington, D.C. from its financial troubles. When it was over, both parties agreed they had made progress.
Thank you, Speaker. And I thought it was an overall good session, and the atmosphere was the best I've seen it in quite some time.
Tone of the meeting was very positive.
No deadline was set for meeting any of the goals outlined in the talks.
The Fat Tuesday celebration is winding down. The Mardi Gras season will come to an end in less than 2 hours. New Orleans' French Quarter is packed with people at this hour enjoying the last gasp of the Fat Tuesday party. But at the stroke of midnight, New Orleans police will clear the streets as Fat Tuesday ushers in Ash Wednesday and the start of the Lenten season. For the next several weeks, members of several Christian denominations will observe the days Jesus Christ spent in the wilderness just before his crucifixion.
News Channel 5's Ruth Izell joins us from the Old Cathedral with more on the beginning of Lent. Ruth?
Well, Karen and Rick, here at the cathedral and at Christian churches around the world, the faithful will be receiving ashes tomorrow morning to mark Ash Wednesday and the start of the Lenten season. Meanwhile, in Soulard, revelers are getting in that last blast of fun as Mardi Gras draws to a close. The Light Up the Night parade was greeted with the same joie de vivre as the first Mardi Gras parade more than a week ago. But the celebrations are more than an excuse to party. They're a prelude to a solemn period on the Christian calendar.
Teach me to forgive others as you forgive me.
Students in Martha Kime's second grade class at St. Margaret of Scotland School have learned all about the trials of Jesus in the wilderness. And they plan to follow some of the Lenten traditions of doing for others and giving up something they enjoy.
Snacks after school. Put away the dishes before my mom tells me to. Clean up my room before my mom tells me.
More recently, we're trying to emphasize the love of God. That's what I think is really important, that the children understand that during Lent, they want to refocus on how much God loves them.
A touch of the Mardi Gras spirit infused the annual Shrove Tuesday pancake supper at St. Michael and St. George Episcopal Church. A healthy dose of pancakes and sausage is in stark contrast to the fasting some people observe on Ash Wednesday. The church has a variety of educational programs for adults and children alike during the Lenten season.
And a lot of people partake in that because they see this as an opportunity to enter more deeply into the faith.
He had to prepare himself for what his Father was calling him for. So we too have to prepare ourselves, don't we?
And if you think Lent came a little early this year, well, you're right. It's just the way things timed out. And Easter this year will fall on March 30th. Reporting live from the Old Cathedral, I'm Ruth Ezell. Back to you.
Thanks, Ruth.
There's still more News Channel 5 ahead. We looked at samples of the school lunches your kids get every day and analyzed them for nutrition. Find out what we found. Plus, 2 young boys with mischief on their minds get stuck in a dangerous situation.
And a group pushing for parents' rights makes some strong accusations against the new television rating system.
And there were some accusations that we saw some sunshine today and some snowflakes tonight. I'll tell you about both coming up during my forecast.
You're watching News Channel 5 at 10 with Karen Foss, Rick Edlund, Paul Goodloe, and Mike Bush. And on the night beat, Deanne Lane, Dan Gray, and Ruth Ezell.
Here she comes, right on schedule.
Please insert tape 2.
Honey, could you turn that down, please?
The 190 horsepower escape vehicle, Isuzu Rodeo.
For your convenience, Touchtone prescription refills are now available only at Walgreens. Just call the number on your prescription label. Prescription refills, ready when you are. Filling this bottle requires 113 hours of painstaking detail. Refilling this one takes just a minute on a Touchtone phone. The number's right in your prescription label. Walgreens Touchtone refills, 24 hours a day.
Later on an all-new Tonight Show, hey, it's Jay's Book Club.
It's called Brentwood on $5 a day. It's a whole day.
Then comedian Jamie Foxx remembers the Tyson fight.
So, Mike, what'd you think of the fight? Oh, boy.
Plus actress Bridget Fonda, rock legend David Bowie, and In Search of a Faithful Husband. And tomorrow, friends Matthew Perry and Conan's got Tom Arnold tonight.
Please fill in the blanks. See, it's easy. Dodge Neon Coupe has more room than... Very good. Dodge Neon has more standard power than... Good. And Neon Coupe costs less than... Excellent. So now that you know Dodge Neon gives you so much for so little, which car do you want? Please circle your answer now. Say hello to Dodge Neon at your friendly Dodge dealer.
In Mesa, Arizona, a boy braves dizzying heights and dangerous voltage to try to rescue his autistic brother. When 10-year-old John McNeil scaled this 120-foot electric tower, his 17-year-old brother James climbed up after him. But both were soon stranded at the top, and it was 2 hours before someone spotted them. The tower carries 230,000-volt power lines that had to be cut to reach the boys safely. Little John McNeil is said to have a fascination with climbing. Television stations in that area skipped their national evening newscast to broadcast the rescue live.
The new TV rating system does not impress one group of parents who rate the system a failure. The networks have been assigning age-based ratings to their programs, similar to those used at the movies. But the Parents Television Council says the new system is misleading. The group wants instead a rating system that will inform parents of the program's content, such as violence, obscene language, or steamy love scenes.
In short, the age-based rating system on television today is hopelessly confusing, inconsistent, contradictory, and meaningless. If the networks really want to be responsive to the wishes of tens of millions of parents around the country who want real ratings, they'll ditch this fatally flawed and irrational system and undertake a real one that is content-based.
An NBC programming manager says the rating system is still new and will be improved over time. So far, the only show the network has given a rating of TVM, meaning unsuitable for children, is the upcoming showing of Schindler's List.
Tonight, the United States officially has a new ambassador to the United Nations. Democratic Congressman Bill Richardson won unanimous approval from the Senate. He was praised for his self-styled diplomatic efforts as a widely traveled congressman. Richardson will resign as congressman from New Mexico. He takes over the post vacated by the new Secretary of State, Madeleine Albright. Meanwhile, another element of the Mideast peace accord was carried out today.
Just weeks after Israeli troops withdrew from part of the left bank, 31 Palestinian women prisoners are ordered released. That story tops tonight's World Watch. The first woman to gain her freedom was taken to Ben Gurion Airport to fly to her home in Brazil. The final details of the prisoner release were worked out this past weekend in negotiations between Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu and PLO leader Yasser Arafat. Most of the women were in prison on security charges. 3 were convicted of criminal charges unrelated to the Arab-Israeli conflict. This television commercial promotes a unique twist to mailing a Valentine in the Netherlands, the scratch-off stamp. The hidden message adds something a little extra to those little letters of love, such as the words, "I miss you." The Dutch Postal Service came up with the idea to try to lure young people off the internet and back to traditional letter writing.
After a perfect liftoff early this morning, the crew on the Space Shuttle Discovery is ready to get to work. Steppenwolf's Magic Carpet Ride served as a wake-up call for the 7 astronauts. Discovery is carrying new instruments for the Hubble Space Telescope. The astronauts plan to install new cameras to enable Hubble to see further than it has before. The mission won't be easy. Refitting Hubble will take 4 spacewalks.
School lunches are supposed to be healthful and give kids the energy they need to learn.
But are they really getting the nutrition they need? We had a lab test lunches from 2 districts. We'll show you what we found next.
honey. If you won't, I will.
Everywhere you look, guys are popping the question and way out ways. And after she gives the big thumbs up, it's time to fly to Target. To register for gifts at Club Wed. Just scanning the stuff you want. Barbecue grills. Cozy bedding. Even stereos. And to register nationwide.
Whatever you say.
My, but you've trained him well. Club Wed, only at Target. Say yes to the things you want.
Ah, these fields. Look at this. I've got weeds everywhere. Why in the world did I go with a contact-only herbicide? I'll be in and out of this sprayer all summer long.
Respraying every acre. Get with the program. Do it right. Look for cyanamide products with the sign of season-long residual control. They're at your Agri-Center dealer.
Hard-working man. I got it all on the line for a piece of the promised land. I'm burning my candle at both ends. Can't wait to get up in the morning and do it all over again. I'm a hard-working man.
People always ask us, is the Nissan Maxima a sports car or a luxury car? Sports car or luxury car? Sports car or luxury car? Actually, for a very limited time, it's an economy car. Now lease a 97 Maxima for a special rate of $261 a month with an initial payment of $1,531.
Tonight we continue our series on school lunches, and we have a surprising new survey to tell you about. You might guess pizza would be the #1 choice for kids on the school menu, but you'd be wrong. A study of elementary school kids in Mississippi finds they actually prefer, are you ready for this, chef salad over pizza, hamburgers, or chicken nuggets. One school official says he thinks the novelty of having salad available is one reason it's so popular. That was Mississippi.
That's hard to believe.
That's right. Tough new federal standards are forcing schools to change their menus.
Yeah, in part 2 of our series, What's for Lunch, education reporter Sharon Stevens shows us food test results from 2 of the area's largest school districts.
To find out how well the federal guidelines are being followed, NewsChannel 5 purchased lunches from the St. Louis and Hazelwood school districts. The lunches included hot dogs, French fries, pizza, salad, apples, something called chicken rings, bread, and 1% milk. Then we took 5 days' worth of lunches to O'Neill's Scientific Services for analysis.
We totally take a lunch with maybe hot dogs and French fries, and we blend it up or grind it up until it looks like a milkshake. That's very important to us, to have a very homogeneous sample and not bits and pieces of something.
After testing for fat and iron, the results were turned over to St. Louis University nutrition expert Marjorie Zawicki.
We saw some days were higher in fat content and other days that were quite low, and that's what we're looking at is really the average over the 5 days.
The total calories from fat in St. Louis city lunches over a 5-day period came to 25%, and that's well within the federal guidelines, which call for less than 30% fat. The government requires lots of iron for growing boys and girls. St. Louis provided 4.2 milligrams on average. The guidelines call for at least 3.5 milligrams of iron. At the high school level, where the minimum requirements are higher, total calories from fat came to 24%. Again, well within the guidelines. And at 5.31 milligrams, Hazelwood exceeded the federal goal for iron. Many school districts began making food service changes a year or 2 ago. Locally, only the Hazelwood School District has a computerized system which allows students to use a prepaid school lunch account. No cash is exchanged, and the computer details what food was bought and how much it cost.
We can run a printout and tell mom and dad exactly what they're eating. If they don't want their child to have extra French fries, we can flag the account.
Despite the federal guidelines, recommendations from nutritionists, and the best intentions of parents, there's no guarantee that your child will eat a healthy lunch, even if the food is right there on his or her tray. And while we found positive results, experts say there's still room for improvement.
I'll give it a 5 because that gives it room to get better each time. Because it can get it's better than what it was, but it's not what it should be.
The thrust of team nutrition or the healthy school lunch program is to include a greater variety, and that I think they're making the headway.
Sharon Stevens, News Channel 5.
Missouri school officials say they will help districts that are having problems meeting the new standards, but if districts are unwilling to meet the deadline for the new food regulations, they're likely to lose their federal funding for any school food programs.
Hope you got outside and caught some rays this afternoon. That sunshine is getting to be kind of rare, Paul.
Well, we did have some sunshine, but if you blinked, you might have missed it.
Today.
We didn't have a whole lot, but hopefully we'll get some more later in the day tomorrow. And exactly how much did we get today? Well, that's a really good question. It looks like officially here in St. Louis, we only received 2 hours and 48 minutes. And again, if you blinked this afternoon, you missed it because it is gone and it won't be back, hopefully, until about tomorrow afternoon. But the sunshine did warm up some parts of the state. You see Joplin warmed up to 50 degrees. Southern regions of the bi-state region saw more sunshine, drier air filtered in. That's why Lake of the Ozarks warmed up to 41 degrees, Cape Girardeau 42, 36 out in Chesterfield, but towards the north, we didn't get a whole lot of sunshine, mostly cloud cover in Chicago. There only 26 degrees, 27 in Moline, and Kansas City, 29 degrees. Taking a look at the satellite, we'll show you the clouds that were prevalent for most of the day. Just towards the southern part of Missouri, you will see some clear skies begin to develop, put this in motion here. But they start to fill in as the cold front is dropping down from the upper plains, and this will give us a chance of snow flurries throughout tonight into the first part of tomorrow. And as that clears, we're looking for some clearing skies later in the day tomorrow, and we look for some sunshine late tomorrow and actually into Thursday as well, so that is the good news. Let's go ahead outside right now and see what's happening as we look down towards Busch Stadium. Cloudy skies prevail at Lambert Field, 34 degrees the current temperature, the humidity 75%, the winds from the south at 5, and the barometer 30.14, and that's falling. Our high today, 35 degrees, our low this morning of 29. Let's look at the forecast map and show you what's going on. We're looking at a couple of storms here. This is the cold front which will drop down this evening. We also have another storm brewing in the southwest. This will stay towards the south, increase our chance of rain just to the south of us in the boot heel. We'll see high pressure filter in and hopefully clear us out through Thursday, but then another storm coming in here for Friday, looking like mostly snow, but again, very light snow. We're not looking for any significant accumulations tonight, tomorrow, or Friday as well. Look for the high temperatures tomorrow to remain on the cool side, only in the low 30s here in the metro area. The forecast tonight calls for mostly cloudy skies, some just scattered light snow out there. Not anything really to call in about. The low tonight, this morning or tomorrow morning, dropping out of 26 degrees. The winds changing from the northwest, 5 to 10 miles an hour. Tomorrow morning, we'll start off cloudy and cool, upper 20s. Look for just a lingering snow flurry or two. We're struggling to reach the freezing mark and hopefully decreasing clouds towards the afternoon. The winds north-northwest, 10 to 15 miles an hour. The 5-day forecast shows you sunshine late Wednesday into the first half of Thursday. Then more clouds roll in here on Thursday, and we do have another chance of snow, but it should be light on Friday, and then we keep our fingers crossed for the weekend. We can warm up to our normal temperatures, which are the low 40s this time of year, and overnight lows in the upper 20s. So looks like some sunshine is coming. Today was just a tease.
Right. Keep our fingers crossed. Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, Paul. Looks like it will be Independence Day at the Oscars. The nominees for the Academy Awards were announced this morning, and 4 of the 5 Best Picture slots went to independent films. TriStar's Jerry Maguire was the sole big studio, big grossing movie. The wartime romance, The English Patient, captured a leading 12 nominations. Rounding out the list of nominees, Fargo, Secrets and Lies, and Shine. Notable for no nominations, Madonna, who proclaimed herself Oscar-worthy for her starring role in Evita.
I say this every year, I've got to get out more. I haven't seen any of those movies, at least not yet.
I've seen only one.
Well, coming up, the Blues made a trade today, and it's a trade that could put them in jeopardy, final jeopardy. Mike Bush explains next in sports.
Plus, the worm returns. Dennis Rodman is back from suspension, and he had trouble with a cameraman again. Stay tuned for Mike.
What you gonna do with all the cash you save?
Brakes need work? Stop at CarX right now for our 1/3 off brake sale. Big savings. Lifetime guaranteed shoes and pads at 1/3 off.
Save a bundle, call the CarX man.
There's one vehicle built to handle the wide open spaces and the not so wide open spaces. The Audi A6 Quattro. With Quattro all-wheel drive, it's what more and more 4x4 owners are driving and parking every day. Only Quattro, only from Audi.
When water emergencies threaten your home, call in a Code Yellow. Stanley Steamer. We'll be there fast to remove freestanding water from storms, broken plumbing, or any water emergency.
It's the big game, and they're counting on you. Win, and you're their hero. Lose, and they can't hide their disappointment. What's a 7-year-old to do? In a News Channel 5 special report, Frank Cusimano examines kids and sports. Are parents and coaches putting too much pressure on young athletes?
Parents are the worst judges of their kids' talents.
Don't miss Is Winning Everything tomorrow at 10, only on News Channel 5, where the news comes first.
Get two sets for one. Call Charter Communications today at 1-888-41-CABLE, and just $19.95 gets you cable installed on not one, but 2 sets in your home. Plus, get HBO, HBO 2, and Cinemax all for the price of one for 1 month. Unbelievable! As well as all the popular cable channels and all the local channels, too. And, of course, Charter Communications guarantees your installation will be on time or it's free. So call 1-888-41-CABLE, and for just $19.95, get two sets for one.
Introducing the new Jeep Cherokee. With over 40 advancements, it was voted four-wheeler of the year by virtually everyone. Now lease the award-winning Jeep Cherokee for $239 a month.
See Sunset Boulevard at the Fox now through March 22nd.
Mike Bush joins us now with sports. It seems like the Blues are always wheeling and dealing, so what about this one?
I'd like to see Ron Caron's phone bill sometime. They must be enormous, yeah. With Al McInnes injured, the Blues need some help on defense, especially right defense. So today they made a deal with the Devils. But this brings up a very interesting trivia question, or even a Jeopardy question.
Well, it's a very important Final Jeopardy.
Yes, it is, Alex. And the category is Blues transactions. And the answer, he is the only player that Blues GM Ron Caron has traded away twice. Good luck. Alex, the answer is Peter Zezel. Peter Zezel. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Well, we tried. Anyway, Zezel goes to New Jersey for minor league defenseman Chris McAlpine. The veteran center basically got caught up in a numbers game. Blues have too many centers and not enough defensemen. In 35 games this season, Zezel has 4 goals and 9 assists. And what do we know about McAlpine? He was basically playing at Albany of the AHL.
I think he was more offensively minded in college. And with New Jersey, who play a tight defensive system, I think he was more staying back. We'll encourage him to get a little bit more involved in the play.
We've got 2 centermen sitting out every game, so we thought it was a good execution of switching for a right defense.
I've got to get me one of those hats.